many reasons for heartache and grief to be felt, it does not diminish your ability to portray awe-inspiring beauty. As we join together in this time of worship, give us the vision of your Spirit so that we might better see your artistic hand that paints and shapes the world around us. Encourage us as we take note of your ability to make the canvas of life come alive with the good news of light and love and hope and joy. With gratitude in our hearts, we offer these words of prayer. Amen. At this time, if you guys would mingle around and greet your neighbor this morning.
Good morning. How are you this morning? Hi, Mary. How are you?
I am good.
Hey, Bruce.
Wow. All right.
I'm so sorry you came early for that.
Oh, that's okay.
Morning again, brother.
I'll probably miss it next time. So, what is the pleasure? What is the pleasure?
Oh, I'm just making the rounds to some of my churches that got hit.
Really?
Just visiting. Yes.
I'm glad I showed up.
Anyway, so she was like, I was like, oh, I know her.
David's been training, so he's working. Glad to have you.
listen close. All right, now when I point out to you, I want you to say, we give thanks, okay? Can we try that? All right. We give thanks. Perfect, okay. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to start this a little low. So every time you say it a little bit soft, and then I want you, every time you say it, I want you to get a little bit louder because I'm hard of hearing, okay? All right. All right. For the beauty of the earth, we give thanks. For the amazing love of God, we give thanks. For your kingdom coming to earth, we give thanks. For the glory of God revealed in Jesus, we give thanks. For this time of worship and praise, we give thanks. One more time. We give thanks. All right, now will you let us join our voices and sing?
Looking away in the want to say welcome. Cypress Creek Christian Church is a congregation that is striving to put love first in all things. We base that sense of identity and vision from 1 John 4, where we hear about a God who chose to first love us. And that model that we find in Jesus Christ is for us the model for life. Trying to learn how to put love first in all things. I want to lift up some things in the life of our congregation real quickly. Today at 2:45, we have a family movie gathering at the AMC on Holdsworth. I know that there were a few tickets still available for that. If you're interested, you can talk to Tammy Nelson, our children's director, about that. I plan to go. It is the movie The Star. It is the story of the Nativity told from the perspective of the animals. I had announced that there was no youth tonight, and I was wrong. There is youth tonight at 5:30, usual time, so I was wrong, but youth tonight at 5:30. And no youth group this Wednesday or next Sunday. So ignore me for that announcement or what I previously said. Next Sunday, we'll be collecting our special Thanksgiving offering. It goes to support our colleges, universities, and seminaries across the United States. Of course, here in Texas, we think of TCU and Bright Divinity School, but there are dozens of them across the country. And so it is our way of supporting scholarships and the wonderful teaching and education that happens, specifically preparing people to enter the ministry. So again, next Sunday, I hope you'll be supportive of that. And then 2 Sundays from now, December the 3rd, which, believe it or not, is the first Sunday of Advent. That is also the Sunday that Reverend June Stoker will be ordained. June was on staff here for a few years, and then she went down to First Christian Church of Alva, where she has been serving. Originally, we thought that the ordination would be here, as we will be a co-sponsor in that ordination, but because of the things we are facing, she decided to keep it down there. But she hopes that folks will come down and be a part of the service. I'll be driving down with my family. We have at least one more spot in my car if you're interested in riding with us, but I know that others are going down as well. So if you're not able to go, please keep June in your prayers as she enters into this really special time in her life. And then I want to name it, which you probably already noticed, we had our wooden built-in stage that was here for the last few weeks. It's gone, because early tomorrow morning, the concrete people are coming to fill this in permanently. And but with that, I need you to take note that we've added these extra steps going down, but the last step doesn't have one of those extra steps. So as you're coming forward for communion later, be very, very careful. But because the concrete people are coming first thing tomorrow morning, if you could stay after worship for 10 minutes and help us stack chairs. Because not only are they pouring concrete down here, the last row up there, the extra step, they're taking that out. Because that is the exact size that we need for wheelchairs. You need about 7 feet. And so it'll allow for wonderful access up there. Because this space is not the most accessible in many ways, and so we want to do what we can for that purpose. Plus, someday we actually dream of adding a center entrance, center doors, and for brides to have a center aisle in here. But we first have to remove that step up there. So just be mindful of that, but they promise us that it will be all done this week, so when we come back next Sunday, it will be ready for us. And then finally, I just want to welcome Commissioner Cagle, our commissioner. He surprised us, and I like surprises like that, but it is good to have him with us this day. As we continue on our series around generosity, I want to look at Psalm 136, for these words. And kind of like what Kevin led earlier, that litany with that part that is repetitive, you will hear the same thing in this psalm. Give thanks to the Lord because the Lord is good. God's faithful love lasts forever. Give thanks to the God of all gods. God's faithful love lasts forever. Give thanks to the Lord of all lords. God's faithful love lasts forever. Give thanks to the only one who makes great wonders. God's faithful love lasts forever. Give thanks to the one who made the skies with skill. God's faithful love lasts forever. Give thanks to the one who shaped the earth on the water. God's faithful love lasts forever. Give thanks to the one who made the great lights. God's faithful love lasts forever. The sun to rule the day. God's faithful love lasts forever. The moon and the stars to rule the night. God's faithful love lasts forever. Here is the reading of this ancient poetic liturgy. May our ears hear, may our hearts be perceptive, and our lives come to know the God whose faithful love lasts forever. Let us join our voices. as only a loving spouse can do, she looked at me with both compassion and pity and said, "I don't think that's necessary." But she added, "You make my top 10 list." All I can say, but I hope to make her top 5, or her top maybe 3. We do live in a culture that is obsessed with beauty. But I believe that our obsession is a bit misguided. Now, I don't believe that beauty is necessarily a bad thing. Not at all. In fact, it is a wonderful, glorious thing. What's bad, I think, is our cultural definition of beauty. Our culture has defined beauty with a creative combination of lust and envy, our current cultural fixations, and our low sense of self-worth that is searching for value. But that aside, I believe there is beauty worth our attention. And when we look to the scriptures, we find some marvelous examples. In the book of Genesis, we read the words about how beauty is found in every tree and every edible fruit. The passage is speaking about the generosity of our God. That kind of generosity is, in my opinion, beautiful. In the prophets, we read how beautiful are the things that are kept in the right hand of God. What's kept in the right hand of God? It is things like compassion and justice and mercy, these gifts that are given to us, seeking the best of us. Such gifts are beautiful. And the Apostle Paul, when he writes to the church at Rome, says, "Beautiful are the feet. Beautiful are the feet of those who share the good news. Those faithful ones who have been touched by the unconditional love of God, who have been inspired by that marvelous gift, they go out into the world to share that good news." And Paul says how beautiful their feet are. Beauty is found in moments where we glimpse God, where we glimpse the nature and character of God. The author of the psalm announces those wonderful words, God's faithful love lasts forever. Lasts forever. If you remember from a few weeks ago, what does the word forever mean? It means forever. It doesn't mean sort of forever or for a long time. It means forever. That is the love of our God. But what I love is the litany that the author of the psalm puts before us, speaking of a God who makes great wonders, a God who made the sky with skill, a God who made the earth upon the waters, a God who made the great lights, the sun, the moon, and the stars. But in wonderful poetic fashion, the author squeezes between each of those references of creation that line, God's faithful love lasts forever. The configuration, or might I say the architecture of the language here is intentional. It has us finding God and the character and nature of God throughout the different pieces of creation. It is an invitation to look closely, not just at the words of the psalm, but at the world around us. and to see a not so hidden image woven into the fabric of creation. That image being the image of God, the beauty and nature and character of God. Martin Luther, the 16th century reformer whose life we celebrated just a few weeks ago on Reformation Sunday. Martin Luther wrote, "God is entirely and personally present in the wilderness, in the garden, and in the field." When something is beautiful, and when I say beautiful, I mean that awe-inspiring beauty, that breathtaking beauty. What we are perceiving in those moments, I believe, is the very presence of God that is found in what God has created. A few weeks ago, I reached out to Hutch Hutchinson, a member of the church. He came to the earlier service today and asked if I could use some of his paintings. And a couple of them are just outside the doors alongside these three that are up front. Now, maybe it's just because it's what I want to see, but I don't think that's the case. Because I believe that Hutch glimpsed the presence of God as he looked at the world. And as a gifted artist can, he was able to take what he perceived out there and to put it on a canvas. And not just put what he saw on the canvas, but between the brushstrokes was also able to reveal the presence of God that was there in that moment. Sometimes I stand before a painting, and this one in particular, and something says to me, it's not just some painting that is just sitting there on a canvas. There's something alive there, something that reaches out and touches me. And I believe that having those images here in the sanctuary today, there's something there that touches that part of us that yearns to know God, that touches that part of us that inherently knows beauty because we have encountered God in Jesus Christ, the one who is beautiful. But it's not just the visual arts. It's not just those things we see with our eyes. It might be something we hear with our ears or we experience with our other senses. Deeply woven into the composition of music is something beautiful. And it's not just the voices and the faces of those that sing, though beautiful, I say, definitely. But I believe that there we find the presence of God. We find the very Creator who inspires, announcing to us somewhere mixed into the notes the good news that God's faithful love lasts forever. 2 years ago, in Baghdad, Iraq, a bomb exploded in a quiet neighborhood. Shortly after the explosion, a man appeared on the scene bringing a large case with him. In that case was a cello. And he set up a little stool. You see a picture here. And he began playing. Kareem Nasibi is his name. He was the conductor of the Baghdad Symphony, along with being a magnificent cellist. People began coming out of the buildings where they had hid after the explosion. They came around him as he was playing right where the bomb had gone off. And they wept, and they hugged each other, and they listened. They described it as an amazing gift of beauty that emerged amidst the darkness and the brokenness of that moment. And one person said the music was a voice of hope. I believe that yes, the music was a voice of hope, because woven into that composition was the one who brings us hope, was the one who speaks to us hope. And even though there were not words in that song, people felt the hope of our God coming to them. I believe it was God, not so well hidden, because beauty can arise out of even the most dark and ugly situations. Even when things appear bleak and helpless, it does not take much to bring forth even a sliver of hope. On my second day here on the campus, post-flood, water still receding, pumps sucking the water out of where I stand and out of the centrum, us pulling carpet, many of you helping with that project. I was walking out here, and just at the base of the central wall, you'll see another picture. The right-hand side was that flower. On the second day, I mean, it's just a little flower, isn't it? But for me, in that moment of standing in that mess, it was so much more. It was God saying, oh, by the way, I'm here. I am right here. I didn't go anywhere. I didn't get washed away in the floodwaters. I am here, and my faithful love lasts forever. I don't know about you, but in that moment, I needed that little flower. In the midst of the mess that you see on the left-hand side, I needed that flower. It's just a flower, some will say. But for me, I could see the very fingerprints of the Creator upon it. I could see the presence of God announcing a truth. I could hear a God saying to me, my love lasts forever. And such a love is not impacted in any way, shape, or form by floodwaters. God's saying, I am there with you, with your congregation, and I will not let you go. Sisters and brothers, you know of people, and maybe you are the ones who came out of that flood experience feeling a little broken. What we need to be to one another is the gift that points out the beauty. Now, you don't just take somebody by the shoulder and go, by the way, that's God there, and that's God there. No, but it's helpful not to dismiss their pain, not to ignore their hurt. Absolutely not. We need to understand and appreciate where they have been. But the two can sit side by side. In the midst of the darkness, there is light. In the midst of the brokenness and pain, God's love exists. That voice coming to us, and of all things, a small purple flower in the midst of painting, and who knows where else, our God announcing to each and every one of us, my love lasts forever. It will not walk away. It will not go away. Floodwaters can't take it away. And we need to be the people who go and take that message out. We need to celebrate the words of the Apostle Paul and recognize that our feet can be beautiful as we take that glorious news out and come alongside those who are hurting and broken and maybe are unable to perceive those little glimpses that are there. To say, isn't that beautiful? Name the beauty. And I believe that some way God's Spirit will speak and will remind us we're not alone. We're not forgotten. To remind us that this love that lasts forever is a love that Paul reminds us we can't be separated from. It is forever there. Will you join me in prayer? You are there, God. Oh God, whose faithful love lasts forever. Your presence is there, woven into the creation around us. in the art that seeks to depict what the eye sees, in the music that touches our ears and speaks to our hearts. You are there, not so well hidden, for there is beauty. And you are that which is beautiful, awe-inspiring beauty. It's all around us. And we pray, oh God, that even when life appears dark and hopelessness seems to be moving in, that you will give us, even just for a moment, a glimpse of a purple flower or something else that any other day we might have just ignored, but on that day, in that moment, it reminds us of your truth. The truth revealed to us in Jesus Christ, that we are not alone, we are not forgotten. For your love lasts forever. Help us so that we can name it, that we can personally enjoy it, but we can allow it to shape us so that we can be the instruments by which it is shared with others. And as those who Paul declared as having beautiful feet, we pray that we too can have such feet, who carry that message out to the world, or at least across the street, or in the neighborhood 2 down, where people are still hurting, deeply hurting, and would be touched, even for just a moment, by an appearance of your grace. Oh, gracious God, for those within this community of faith, I lift up Jenny and Greg and Bob and Lorraine. Lift up Gail, Josephine and Al, Jack, Elaine, Donna and Glenn. Lift up Larry, I lift up Ruth. There are others who I have not named that you know about, God, and we pray that your Spirit will encourage us, inspire us, and lead us to those places where we can be the voices say, isn't it beautiful? And then just step back and allow for you to work. Amidst all difficulties, amidst the darkness that seems to encroach upon life, you seem to always find a way. May our eyes, may our ears, may our hearts be made available to you, the God whose love lasts forever.
We have a song this morning, it's called God Speaking. And we lost a beach house in 2008 to hurricane Ike. And my son at the time said, "Oh, my pajamas are floating in the water." The whole house was gone. And we searched for 3 days. We would follow one piece of our siding of our house to another piece of siding. And we were walking on the beach, and my husband reached down and he said, "Look." And he had Jonah's pajamas found on the beach with the whole house gone. So lots of little miracles happen to us if we're just listening. I had a man call me the night before his memorial service for his wife and say, "I have 100 pictures and they're going to last for 3 seconds each. And this song that we're doing, I Will Know That You Wrote About Heaven. Can you make it be exactly 300 seconds? And I had Marga help me with a piece of paper, and we were done with the song, and I said, "Okay, how long is it at each spot?" And she said, "Stephanie, it's 5 minutes. And if you divide 300 by 60, that's exactly how long it was supposed to be." I don't believe that I did that. That song didn't come out the same the next time he played it, but for his wife's service, it came out perfectly. So I give God full credit for that and the pajamas. And if we're all listening, lots of things happen to us every single day.
And, I hope you will take in these images, or maybe after the service, coming up and looking at them. Because I think the paintings themselves can speak, can reveal the God whose love lasts forever. But sometimes looking at a painting, at least for me, it stirs my memories. And I go back to a time and place where I was awestruck, where my breath was literally pulled from my body because I had been so struck by the Spirit. Those are powerful moments that it's hard to tell somebody else about. But when you've experienced it yourself and somebody begins to talk about their own experience, you just kind of nod. Because you know what they're talking about. You've been there. Our God continues to find all kinds of ways and means. Purple flowers, who knows what to say, here I am. And Christ left of all gifts a table, and a little bread and a cup, as another means of saying, here I am. And so today I hope that what we do around the table is a practice session for opportunities that will rise this coming week. To say with the bread and a little bit of juice in your hand, God is present here. And may it teach me to be made available and open to where God might just do the same on Tuesday or Friday morning or wherever it might be. Because the more and more times when we see it, I think the more we are inspired to point out the beauty to others. Let us now prepare for a time of table.
We also have offering baskets up here, and an offering basket will be passed in the balcony. If you have offering, please feel free to bring that forward at this time. We also have a gluten-free option located up here on the table, which will be available if you are in need of that. And if you are unable to come to the table, please raise your hand and we will serve you right where you're at. This is the Lord's table. the beautiful, everlasting purple flower that we have to show God's love for us. Will you please join us in prayer?
Precious Lord, we thank you for being a Father who is aware of and shares our hurts, our fears, and our heartbreaking life situations. We are so grateful that as you hold us close in these moments, you also open our eyes to see the beauty, joy, hope, and love you have sent to encourage us, to give us peace and reassurance, to renew our strength and resolve, and most of all, to remind us that nothing we face is bigger than you are, your faithful love. Last forever. Father, as we remember your provision, we also remember the prayer you taught us to pray. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our sins, as we forgive those who sin against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen.
On the night Jesus was betrayed, he gathered in an upper room with the disciples, and he blessed the bread, and he took it, and he broke it, and he gave it to them, saying, "Take, eat. This is my body, broken for you." And in like fashion, after the meal, he took the cup, and after he blessed it, he gave it to them, saying, "Take, drink. This is the blood of the new covenant, shed for you and for many. Do this every time you eat and drink in remembrance of me." This meal is welcome to all. This is the Lord's table and was intended for all. The meal is prepared. Please come.
Look down at your feet. Them are some beautiful feet, folks. Now follow the word and let's take that out and make sure that sisters and brothers around us know that there is a God whose love lasts forever. Here at Cypress Creek every Sunday we extend an invitation. It is an invitation not just to join a community of faith, but that is so important, but it is to connect one's life to Jesus Christ. And if you wish to respond to that invitation, you can either come forward as we're singing, or you can sit down and talk to one of the ministers, one of the elders in the life of our congregation, immediately after service out in the foyer. I now invite you, if you're able to please stand. Let us join our voices on this closing song. Organization, company, they give a percentage directly back to the church. So if you're planning to give a gift card of $50 for Christmas to somebody, maybe it pays 6% back to us, and we get that. And what's neat is I went online and did the online version, put the church's code in there, and so next time I go to HEB, and I remembered this 2 nights ago because I already have it on my phone, I can actually buy the gift card on my phone as I'm waiting in line, and present it, $100 or whatever I put on there goes away, and the church gets a certain percentage of it. And so you can just do that with Kroger's is not a part of this, so we're hoping to get them on board, but HEB is and others. But I hope you'll stop by the booth, take a look at it, and especially as we're moving towards Christmas, where I know a lot of you are planning to buy gift cards. We want to help you buy those gift cards because it's going to come back to the church. Also, the NAM bags, the Christmas bags, many of them are already coming back in. We say thank you. If you still want to participate, there are opportunities to do so. After the service, looking for Mr. Mike Hansen, and he's going to tell us what to do in regard to the chairs, if you can stick around. And finally, again, it's good to have Commissioner Cagle with us. We thank you for your presence. And I now invite you to take the hand of somebody close and let us join together in our unison prayer. Gracious God, may your love and our lives come together in a life lived in love. May Jesus be our